Ladies and gentlemen, in this review we're going to be taking a look at something completely different. As many of you know, I'm a huge race fan. NASCAR, Formula 1, IndyCar, you name it, I usually watch it. One of my favorite drivers in NASCAR is Brad Keselowski, so I like to try and pick up all of his 1/24 scale stuff, especially the standard finish raced win cars, which is what this is. So what is race win? Well, essentially this car is how it appeared in victory lane that day, with the confetti, the fuel spillage, the dirt and grime. All of that is there, replicated just like it was when Lionel takes hundreds and hundreds of pictures of this car in victory lane in order to make the scale model as realistic as possible. So here's what the box looks like. You can see the car inside there with a window box. Here's his car, Talladega winner, standard finish. On top, you have your checkered flag and NASCAR Sprint Cup Series logo, along with the winner's sticker, which you'll see a bigger version of that in a minute, and the race version. Side is pretty plain, just saying that this is a official licensed NASCAR product. That's what that sticker means. 16, signifying that this is a 2016 release. And on the back, you have the 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series schedule. The ones colored in yellow are the chase events. At the time of this review, however, only Phoenix and Homestead remain. So this weekend in Phoenix, we're going to cut the chase-eligible drivers from 8 to 4. And really, there's only 2 spots of those 4 available because Carl Edwards and Jimmy Johnson have already punched their ticket, and they will be racing for the championship in Homestead. So with that said, let's go ahead and get this model open and out of the box. Take a brief look at it here. So I did cheat a little. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Lionel started doing this a few years ago with their Diecasts, and I have absolutely hated it. What they do is they screw the car down, literally, with 2 screws to the base. The idea is, of course, to prevent chipping damage, but beforehand, these cars just came with 2 polystyrene formers. The car was covered in some nice soft paper, and I never had a single issue anyway. So I really wish they would go back to doing that, but whatever. Here's my biggest issue. As you can see, these are screwed to the base, and they were designed to be easily opened. So if you're at the track and you see the driver, you just grab a quarter, and you can see the quarter slot here. Pop the quarter in, spin both of these out, and in theory, the car would come off. The problem is that more often than not, you would damage the box, and you would damage the diecast. So I'm really hoping in 2017 there will be changes made to the boxes. Before we get into the car, here's your quick slip here that says, congratulations on your purchase, blah, blah, blah. Register your PIN number with the Racing Collectibles Club of America, or RCCA. Here is a bag of confetti from Victory Lane. Pretty cool. Here is the aforementioned winner sticker. Always amazes me in a sport that's a multi-billion-dollar business that aside from the trophies and prize money you get from winning a race, drivers are always excited to put winner stickers on their car, like 5-year-olds. And here is the pamphlet, which again, if you want to read, just pause it. Hopefully your eyes are good and the blare's not too bad. Just some indication and some statistics about the race. The Geico 500 held on May 1st of this year. And on the back, Brad Keselowski wins his 4th at Talladega. Again, if you want to read up on it, please pause the video and practice your hooked on phonics skills. Alright, so let's take a look at the car. Normally, the car would be just plain white, like it comes out of the hauler. No grime, no dust, no anything. But as you can see on here, there's tons and tons and tons and tons of confetti, which really make the car look awesome. Both the Penske racing cars have colored wheels. So Brad usually has white wheels, where Joey Logano has red wheels. The orange arrow beneath the driver's number, that's where the jack is supposed to go. So as soon as the car comes in for a pit stop, the jackman really doesn't even have to look for where this little thing is, because oftentimes it's hard to find on the skirt. He just pushes the jack underneath, and the car goes up. You have your window net up here. These are called contingency sponsors. The Penske racing cars, again, usually have the least amount of contingency sponsors out there. There's normally some that come all the way out to here. Have your window net. And here are the 2 stickers right here next to the driver's name, up on top of that black right here. So this was the second out of 4 races he won this year so far. He would go on to win the July race in Daytona in this exact chassis, and then go on to win at Kentucky Speedway, which was awesome because I was there in person. Here is where your fuel would go, right here in this American Ethanol, Alliance Truck Parts, and your Snap-on logo. Back of the car, this huge black thing right here is called the spoiler. And normally, it's a lot taller than this, but since this is what they call a restrictor plate race and a restrictor plate car, it's a lot lower, and that's just simply for aerodynamic reasons. This little logo right here is the Penske Racing 50 years that they're celebrating. This over here is a camera, so anytime that you see on TV or you're watching on a computer, when you see a shot of a car from behind, it's coming from this camera right here. On this side, you have a little bit more confetti that made it all the way to the Miller Lite sign. And your orange lines here. Now you're probably asking yourself, okay, on the Goodyear tire, why is there an orange line? Well, back then, because they've changed the rules since, you only had to hit 4 lug nuts. So they would always put, an orange stripe so that the tire changer knows, okay, don't hit that 5th lug nut. We're good to go. Because of safety reasons and everything else, that rule is now no longer in effect. So, looking from the front, you have the driver's name across the top of the windshield, as you'll see everybody in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Your primary logo, Miller Lite. Your secondary sponsor, Pennzoil. And I'm not sure how well it's going to pick up these 4 silver things, but these are called hood pins, and that's what the team uses to open and close the hood. On front, you have your Fusion decals and headlights. No, they are not real. The only thing on the front of this that is real is this black strip right here. That is what NASCAR mandated the opening for in restrictor plate races to allow air to come into the car. But the problem is with it being so thin, as we saw in October, if you get debris on this, you will blow an engine. So that's what that is for. There is a decent range of steering. But honestly, it seems to turn right better than it does left, which is kind of funny, actually. And finally, looking up on the top, you have a serial number here. These are your wedge adjustments and track bar adjustments. These 2 are roof flaps, which is another safety innovation that NASCAR has made. The idea is when a car gets sideways, these deploy to keep the car on the ground instead of taking off and flipping like a jet. Show you the trunk real quick. That's where your fuel cell is, which is what that huge red thing is. And your fuel line, which you can just see it. It's that black line that leads straight to the filler cap. Now the hood is always difficult to get open, so I usually like to have something available to pop it open without damaging the paint. And there's your huge 700 horsepower engine. Well, it's not 700 because this is a restrictor plate race, but any other race, normally it's a 700 to 800 horsepower engine. And under the hood it says Lite, powered by Ford. So that's it, guys. I hope I brought in some new viewers. I hope I did this car its justice. I hope you guys liked the video. So any of you that are tuning in to my channel for the first time, please let me know how I did on the NASCAR reviews, and hit that subscribe button. It's always appreciated. Have a good one, guys. Be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.